Now, of course, the real chassis here has welds where all the pieces are connecting, but at least for now, I'm not going to do that because I may not need to. A lot of these connections are going to be underneath other things, and I'm trying not to do work that I don't necessarily need to do. So the next thing maybe we should try is the gas tank. This is a prominent feature on the bike, and now that we have the chassis done, we can maybe work on that. So I'm going to hit the 3 key, and with the cursor still in the center of the grid, I'm going to press Shift-A, Mesh, and add a cube right here. Now it's a little big, of course. Let's hit the S key and scale it down. And I'll go ahead and press the Z key and go to wireframe, and let's just hit G and move this up and kind of get it in a shape around the tank. So if I tab into edit mode, and I'll hit the 3 key to make sure I'm in face mode, I'll just grab this face and pull it back. And then I'll hit the 1 key to go to vertex mode. And if I just come up here and select this one point, you can see that I didn't really actually select that point. I selected the one behind it. But if here in the orthographic view, if we're in wireframe, I can then click and drag so we get both of the vertices in the selection. All right, so now that we've got that, I'll just hit G and move this down to here. I'll drag select these, move that up here. And so I'm just kind of trying to find the outward boundaries of the gas tank here. Something like that, and maybe, I don't know, let's go up to here. Let's say I'm just kind of extending this down like that. So, all right, let's tumble around, and I'll hit the Z key and go to solid mode, and let's take a look at it. All right, now we don't yet really know how wide this is. Let's press the 1 key and come over here. I'll go to wireframe once again, and we can see that the gas tank is not quite to the edge of the box here and hanging over a little bit here. So once again, the bike isn't exactly in the center or being photographed right down the middle here, but we can get a sense that that's generally about the width of the gas tank. I might be able to press SX and bring it out just a little bit more. Maybe like that. Let's try that. All right. So now what let's do is let's split it and mirror it to one side so that whatever we do on one side happens on the other. It's just sometimes easier to work like that when you're dealing with a symmetrical piece. So I'll tab into edit mode and press Control R to add an edge loop. Now I can hover over an outside edge and it will give me a preview of the new edge perpendicular to that. And now to ensure that that edge is right down the center, instead of clicking, I'm going to press the Enter key twice. Once there, and once again, and now that edge is locked into the center there. And that's good, that's what we want. So what I'll do is I'll press the 3 key and I'll Alt-click between 2 of the faces, and that will select a face loop all the way around, and then I'll Shift-click this face here, and then let's just press Delete and delete faces. Now that we've done that, we want to add a mirror modifier, so I'll come over here to the modifiers panel, add mirror, and there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn on clipping as well, because let me show you what happens if we do not have clipping turned on. If I select this and I pull it this way, it can split apart. So we don't want that. What we can do is turn on clipping here, and then as I bring this back in like that, now it's clipped together. I can't move the points apart. So that's important if we want to be sure and seal that object up before we apply it. So now we've got this. Let's start working on the shape of this. I'm going to press Control R and add an edge loop through the center. And then I'll press the 3 key and go to wireframe with the Z key. And let's start adding a few more edge loops from this side. Let's press Control R again and add an edge loop here. I'll just click the mouse twice to drop that there. And then I can drag select these 2 points, or excuse me, these 3 points. I'm only selecting these 2 because this is actually part of the mirror modifier. But if I select those points and hit G, I can move this up just a bit like this. Then maybe I'll drag select these and move these down just a bit like this. And maybe I can grab these and move these in and move this out just a bit. So I'm still trying to just keep to this form, this outside edge of the gas tank, like that. And then this could probably come in just a bit. Maybe even in like this. Drag select this, move it in. So I'm just trying to get the basic shape now. Let's go back to solid view and take a look at it. Oh, and we can also turn on the view so we can see the edges on the other side on the mirror modifier. So we can come over here and turn on cage right here. And now we can see those. We could also grab these edges. I'll press the 2 key and select these and kind of move these out a bit since it kind of bulges out on the sides. And in addition, we should probably take these and move these in because I think they curve in just a bit. Let's go to another image over here just to make sure. I'll click image open and let's go into the iPhone photos and let's just find one of these that kind of shows it from, well, here's a relatively kind of a top view here. Yeah, you can see it kind of curves in just a bit here, kind of into that chassis frame that we created here, right? So we could maybe just come in like this a bit. Let's try that. And then also we could take these edges and maybe move them back just a bit like this. There we go. So we're getting some of that shape now. We probably want to take these and move them in just a bit here. Now there is a split in it here. You can see that opening there. We will probably work on that or use a Boolean modifier to cut that out. And then also I think I want to take these up here and pull these up just a little bit like this. There we go, something like that. And maybe even these edges here, I'll tab back into edit mode and just grab these and pull them back just a little bit because it looks like it kind of curves there. All right. So in the next video, what let's do is let's add a subdivision surface modifier to this so we get that nice smooth curve, and we'll adjust it to fit the image a little better once we've done that.